Welcome back. A couple of really nice games yesterday in Group G and H action. We started with Cameroon and Serbia with a thrilling 3-3 tie, and then followed by Brazil beating Switzerland 1-0 with a late goal. And then in Group H, we had probably the game of the day in terms of intensity and entertainment, which was the Ghana beating South Korea 3-2. The last 10 minutes of that game were absolutely fantastic. And then Portugal beat Uruguay 2-0. With this, both Brazil and Portugal advanced in their respective groups with 6 points in 2 games. And then we have, in Group G, we have Brazil first, then Switzerland with 3 points and 0 goal difference. And then Cameroon and Serbia tied with 1 point in third position. Cameroon with a -1 goal difference and Serbia with -2. The last games for this group will be on Friday, and they will feature Cameroon and Brazil, and then Serbia and Switzerland. Everything indicates that Serbia and Switzerland will be defining who's the second team to advance. In Group H, the standings show Portugal in first with 6 points and a +3 goal difference. Then the second position is for Ghana with 3 points and 0 goal difference. And then Korea third with 1 point and -1. And Uruguay in fourth position with 1 point and -2. The last games in this round will also be on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll have Ghana playing against Uruguay and Korea against Portugal. Everything indicates here that Ghana and Uruguay will be fighting for that second place and to advance with Portugal, and it would be a nice rematch of that famous game in the South Africa World Cup in 2010. If you remember, the one that had Luis Suarez preventing a goal with his hand, getting a red card and a penalty kick in the dying minutes of the game, only for the Ghanaian player to miss the PK and then go to extra time where Uruguay prevailed via shootout. So that's going to be an interesting match.
Yes, that is right. I'm back. I'm glad to be back. A great way to end off the match day 2 fixtures with Group G and Group H. Starting off with Serbia against Cameroon. 3-3, an absolute thriller for the 5 a.m. game. Serbia being 3-1 up and then conceding twice to draw the game is unlucky for Serbia and really puts a dent in their ability to move on to knockout stages. But it happens when your defense is not great. Now, the second game, Ghana against South Korea, another beautiful game, 3-2 for Ghana. Both teams had their chances. Ghana was just a little bit more clinical with them. A really exciting game to watch. And it'll be interesting to see how Ghana fares against Uruguay in the last game of the qualifiers, seeing the history there from the 2010 World Cup. Then we move on to Brazil against Switzerland. A nice test for Brazil, as the Swiss are normally a team that are quite slept on in the World Cup. But, offside goal from Vinicius, which was then followed a few minutes later by Kaza goal, which was beautiful as always. So Brazil on 6 points, on to the KO stages. Great to see from them. Great team. And to end off the day, Portugal against Uruguay. Portugal in control for most of the game, held a lot of possession, and we're just the better team that equalized in their chances. Bruno with the brace. And yeah, it was a really good match day to end off on for the second cycle of the group stage matches, and I cannot wait for the last cycle.
All right, good morning. It's Tuesday. Today's the first day of round 3. I had to take a few days off because my voice was gone. Turns out having Messi and Davies score within 24 hours is pretty bad for your ability to talk. So things are looking up a bit now. Today's the first day of the next round, meaning all the games are at 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. our time. No more 5 a.m. things for you guys. We're doing this just so they have the games both at the same time instead of at different times. So the results make more sense. So today I believe the games are Netherlands versus Ecuador and Senegal. The Netherlands versus Qatar and Senegal versus Ecuador. My predictions are Ecuador's going to make it through. I thought they were one of the better teams this year. As I said, I got clowned back home because of that, so I'm glad they're pulling it off. And then later in the evening, we got some big games in Group B with England taking on Wales and Iran, USA, two pretty politically charged games. So my predictions are US is going to beat Iran, and then England's going to beat Wales, meaning those two teams will go through. And then I'm thinking Netherlands is going to beat Qatar, and Ecuador hopefully beat Senegal, and those teams go through. So we'll see. Tomorrow's the big day. Argentina plays again. We'll see if we're able to make it.
Predictions for the first match day 3 fixtures tomorrow. We have Ecuador and Senegal. I think Ecuador are going to win 2-1. Better defensively, better going forward, less leaky at the back. Like Senegal conceding to Qatar. Really, I feel like the FC Berlin semi-pro team could be Qatar. They're that bad. They shouldn't be at the World Cup. Second of all, Qatar and Netherlands. I think Netherlands round off the group well. They've not been the greatest. I thought they would do a lot better. But I'm going to give them a 3-0 win over Qatar. Going to Group B, which is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start with Iran against the United States. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw, just because I think the match could go any way, and I want Iran to win, but like I also think like the United States might win, but I also think like Iran could win as well. So I'm just going to say 2-2. I think it's going to be like a crazy game for whatever reason. I'm not really sure, but I could be totally off. It could be like a 0-0. It could be like a total blowout for like a minute. I really don't know. Anyways, the last game, we have Wales and England. I'm going to say England wins 3-1 because Wales aren't that great. Even though England haven't played all that well in both the games. I mean, they didn't play good against Iran, really. They scored 6, but they should have, they conceded 2 and should have gave up a third if it wasn't for really, really poor finishing. And drew with America. I mean, come on. England disappointing on the international stage once again. No surprises. They're always underwhelming. If they get Southgate out, they might be better. Everyone's saying grandpa this, grandpa. Will grandpa really make it better? I'm not sure. But, you know, I think maybe a guy like Tuchel will do way better with the England squad. Just, you know. Yeah, anyways. I'll say 3-1 for England. They can round out the group and regroup for the KO stages. But those are my predictions for tomorrow's games. And, yeah.
Action today will feature groups A and B, and with this we are done with the 5 o'clock games and the 8 o'clock games. We have 2 games at 10 a.m. That's going to be Ecuador against Senegal and Netherlands against Qatar. I think Netherlands will have no problem beating Qatar. It's going to be a 3-0, 3-1. And then Ecuador and Senegal is going to be a much more contested game, but I really think that Ecuador should prevail, especially if Valencia is healthy and able to play. So I will say 1-0 for Ecuador, not without drama. And then for Group B, the games are going to be at 2 p.m. and they will feature Wales against England, and England shouldn't have any problems beating Wales. They're doing really badly this time, and so I would say a 2-1 for England. And then the other game between the US and Iran that will define which is the team that goes into the second round of Group of 16. I will say United States will prevail by a score of 2-0.